Fucking Jesus Christ, man. Like the fucking universe is trying to tell me something here. It's like, nah, don't film a video. Fuck, dude. So, I'm Chris. Fucking welcome to VHB Engines, man. But fuck, Jesus. So I'm sitting here. I got 6 minutes of fucking footage I just lost because I'm getting 5 million fucking messages in a phone call in the middle of shit. I'm gonna have to fucking start filming in airplane mode for real. I'm used to doing this shit late at night where nobody's really bothering me. This is crap. Anyway, so I guess this is probably better off anyway. I just use it as 6 minutes as a warm up. I know there's been some controversy surrounding the channel recently, and a lot of the videos have been uploading recently. Just been a lot of fucking bagging, airbag, talking shit. So I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to get my groove back so I can get back into filming some shit that's relevant. I don't know why. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. This is something a lot of people have asked me from Florida. So I guess I'm finally, pulling the trigger and doing it. And I want to give you guys my opinions on the tuners that I've dealt with. For people who ask me who would I recommend and shit. Honestly, to say it off rip, there's only one guy that's ever tuned my cars, and he's the guy I'm going to start the stories with, and that's Lee. Lee, I first met while he was working at Genesis Automotive. And, Eddie owns a dyno, and Lee was the one operating. All right, so I came from El Paso, and I was feeling a power loss, and but I didn't realize. And I knew there was going to be some power loss because of the elevation, but I didn't realize it was going to be nearly as much as it turned out to be. On Halloween, I went to go roll my shit. The last time I made, I got tuned at 421 horsepower in El Paso. When I rolled on the dyno at Genesis, I was only making 180 horsepower. It was crazy. So Lee gave me a really good price, and he fixed my shit. I made 438, and I stayed there until I got rid of the car. I never had a problem with the tune. When the car that got stolen, when I was getting my tune again, I went to Lee also. Lee at that point had separated from Genesis, was doing his own thing, but I hooked up with Lee, met up with him at Genesis Automotive, and we tuned the car, or we attempted to tune, which was, something that I guess I made a story about it, if you want to go back and watch that or whatnot. And it wound up being a terrible fucking night, and I blew up a turbo. And then when I've replaced the turbo and went to go back to do the retune, that car got stolen. So yeah, I never got to finish. Now, the other guy I want to talk about is Eddie, one of the owners of Genesis Automotive himself. This is one of the guys I've wanted to do a feature on for a while. I haven't done the feature because I've really liked the guy. I really respect him. I want to do a good job of representing him in his business. All right, that I will probably be doing very soon because I don't really have any good shit to talk about that I don't have to dig in and do research on except that, because it's my opinion on the guy. And some other features also that I've been planning. So anyways, so next me and Eddie at Genesis, when I was tuning with Lee for the car that got stolen, I was talking to Eddie. Eddie was talking about he was finally getting into using the dyno to tune. Now, the reason why he hadn't done it before was, I do believe, I remember it being correctly, it was time, because he's always busy working on the cars, didn't really have time to fuck around with the dyno to teach himself. And but I guess eventually he did. So I told him that if he was tuning already, I would have been going with him to tune. One, because I trust the guy, and two, because it just makes a lot of financial sense because he owns the dyno. Why the fuck would I pay Lee for his tuning and then pay Eddie for the dyno use when I could just combine that into one thing, have it be a flat rate? And Eddie also did tune my friend Blake's car, the one that's putting down over 500 horsepower, or the one that touched at 500 horsepower and went back down. That still has, some issues that need to be worked out. My friend's still waiting for some upgrades. He's going to be shooting for 600 horsepower against my recommendations, but the guy barely drives the car, so if he does squeeze 600 horsepower out of it, it'll just be something that he goes to hurt people's feelings every once in a while, and it's not going to see too much action, so it'll probably last forever. Anyway, so Genesis Eddie, yes, I really want to show you guys. I really want to share a feature on him because I think that he's a good source for information, because every time he does a tune, he puts the tune up on his Facebook page, talks about the details, what was done before, what was done after, how the tuning went down, how much horsepower it's making. It's a very good things for you guys to want to look at. It's kind of like Evan's tuning database, where you're like, oh, this car's making this much with this kind of mods, and it's he does a lot of the tuning he done is, I'm not saying he doesn't do high power tuning, because he does, but a lot of the tuning he does is like guys with stock B20s and B20Vs and shit like that, so you can have a good idea of what you expect at those lower ranges with low, with bolt-ons and shit. So it's good information. This is my second, or my third one, which is actually my second encounter with tuner wise down in Florida. Was the guy who's probably, arguably, the biggest name, and that is Alfredo Morales, I think his name. Ooh, fuck Fredo, Alfredo. Anyway, Alfredo, and he's the guy he's Durf tuned. And he's got a lot of really high powered cars with his names on them out there doing some good shit. And when I talked about, or when I was looking for tuners, one of the friends that I've name dropped on here a bunch of times, Alexander Tomlinson, he's kind of asked me like why I decided to go against Durf, because I did reach out to Durf and I did talk to him, and I decided not to fuck with this guy. And he was like, well, why wouldn't you go with the best tuner and blah blah blah, all this bullshit. I'm like, well, you know, best tuner is kind of relative. I mean, there's a lot of people that can do the same shit. So I would rather go with somebody who I feel more comfortable with. My dealings with Durf, and I said this, you know, I talked about this with some other professionals in the industry down there. I'm not going to name drop because I don't want anybody thinking that they're throwing shade, because it wasn't. You know, I was talking to this guy. I was like, this is my, you know, my encounter with the guy. And the dude laughed, and he's like, yeah. He goes, he's kind of like that, because kind of does turn people off to him a little bit. And then, you know, there was another guy that was standing there listening to the conversation. He's like, well, that's really strange. You know, that's not like him. I'm going to talk to him right now, find out what happened. I'm like, nah, it's not necessary. You know, I understand where the guy Durf was coming from. But at the same time, too, you know, I think that he could have done better. Just like the other guy who was a businessman who agreed with me. I think he could have done better. So I talked to the guy, I give him a quick rundown of what I do. And, you know, because of the fact that I deal with questions on a regular basis, I know how to be precise and get to the point, not drag out a conversation, not expect too much from a guy, especially when I haven't decided whether I'm going to spend money with him or not. But me filling him out the way I did was me deciding whether I was going to spend money with him or not, and I decided not to. It was a very brief conversation. I talked about what the car had. I did have an issue with the car at the time, which, of course, if you long-term guys know, it turned out to be the ECU. But when I was talking about doing a tune, he was kind of upfront. He was kind of cool, like professional about it. But then when I mentioned it, I had an issue that I couldn't get around, and I thought maybe it was a tuning issue. He just immediately shut down on me. He was just like, "Nope, figure it out. Come talk to me when you get it done." Wouldn't answer anything else after that. I was like, you know, I understand. You know, he's a tuner. He's not a fucking. I'm paying him for his tuning skills. I should take the car to him ready. But at the same time, too, you know, if it was a tuning bug, there's a lot of times that you can find issues with on the dyno, and I understand time is money, but if he's fucking working out a bug for me on the dyno, I know it's not free, so I would have been paying him more, and I would have probably been paying him more than an average tune would have been, because he would have been fucking trying to figure shit out on the way. But he immediately shut me down, turned cold, wouldn't speak to me again. So I was like, nah, let me go around and talk to somebody else. And then I talked to the next guy who's on the controversy shit, because he butts heads with this Durf guy, is Javier. I don't remember his last name. Now this dude is A++ on customer fucking service. All right. I talked to this guy, again, short to the point, and he showed actual concern or interest, which is cool, because the same thing I do. You know, people talk to me. You know, I'm interested, especially if it's something that's an interesting topic. You know, I was there. I was involved. He was involved. He was like, hey, you tried this, you tried that. You know, just pointing out different things, and he was completely willing to bring me down, or to have me go down and get on the dyno and try and figure it out during the tuning process. Then later on, like even like a day or so later, he checked in on me randomly. Like I didn't even ask him or anything. He messaged me, you know, seeing what's up and everything. And I know that you guys maybe think, well, maybe he's just fishing for business. No, this guy is not fishing for business. He has plenty of fucking business. Just as many people that swear by Durf down there, they swear by Javi too. And also Javi is also another guy who's tuned engines that I've built. And so that's the reason why I like to get as much in touch with as many of these tuners if I can, because, you know, I'm an engine builder. They're tuning. They're gonna be working on my shit, you know, secondhand. So it's nice to be able to know people like this, and, you know, to see like the results directly and shit from the guy who's put in the work on it to make it run. Anyway, I eventually did not go with Javi, so because of the fact that it was gonna be a longer tow down there, and I wanted to get in touch with Lee. Lee wound up fixing doing my base map and all that shit, and then I wound up having issues with the base map that he eventually had to fix in person. So I just went with the guy that I already knew, and was closer to me, and was more readily available. So, you know, yeah, I guess that's all of them. I guess only 4, huh? Yeah, let's see. Lee, Eddie, Durf, Javi. Yeah, just 4. So it's not a lot. But I mean, there's a fuck ton of guys running around calling themselves tuners in Florida. And I know there's a fuck ton more tuners down there that I haven't touched on. I guess I give a basic shout out to, was it the guys, Island Boy? I'm not sure if they 100% tune, but they might be having close business ties to somebody in their area that tunes. But I guess so. I'll just throw them out there as an honorable mention just in case. But I know those guys. I know that they've done Hondas, but they primarily do Toyota shit from what I remember seeing. So, yeah. Anyway, all 4 of the guys I named off are all good, capable tuners, and they're all professional, and they won't fuck you over. I guess the one big thing that can be said between Javi and Durf, and I guess I can kind of back that up because I've seen the numbers, is that Javi will give you the maximum power safe. Durf will give you the maximum power period. Like, I want to go fucking balls on this fucking thing. He will take it as far as it can go. While Javi is a little bit more reservative. Like, I know that Javi tuned that B16 I built, and he tuned it 3 different times because of different little modifications. And that's Ivan's B16, the one that's making around 400 something horsepower. And I know that fucking that B16 could have made well over what it was making. But he's kept it in the low 400s. But anyway, Ivan was happy, and it made 400 horsepower, so I'm happy. I'm happy for him if he's happy, as long as he got what he wanted. Whereas Durf, I'm pretty sure Durf would have slapped that same setup on there and made like 480 out of it. So I guess, at the end of the day, it comes down like how much power you want and who you're willing to deal with and whatnot. And I think that if I'm going to spend $300-400 on somebody, I'd like to at least a little basic customer service. Yep. So I guess that's pretty much it. I guess probably me reshooting this video is better because I did ramble a little bit, and it would have been a longer video for kind of no reason. Hopefully I'll be back here soon in the next couple of days. I am going to try and really focus myself on doing this feature video for Genesis because I would like to get the links out for you guys. And also I will be doing a feature for Kyle Darmody, the one that does a Honda Parts Depot. So that way you can have a guy that could potentially ship parts from. I know he has an eBay account and whatnot. And plus, I've talked to him recently about shipping a crank because it was a really good price for a D16, and then I backed off because I'm cheap and I want to spend money somewhere else. Anyway, so now that's my official take on that, and hopefully I don't get questions on that anymore. I probably will though. All right, so see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and social media stuff is links in the description below. For you guys that don't know or haven't been paying attention or whatnot, I will push Snapchat again because I've been live as fuck on there. Just been putting a lot of info there, and so yeah, check me out there to see stuff that I'm working on during the day because I've been working on my truck a lot. About to work with the Integra again. I might even do that tonight. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm probably gonna need to drop the truck on jack stands to get the engine out, and it's ready to come out at this point. It's ready. So to get the jack stands from under the Integra, I need to put the suspension back on the Integra. So there's at this point in time, there's really nothing holding me back from doing that except for me just going out and doing the work. So I'm going to be filming the reassembling the Integra. That's going to be a YouTube video. And as soon as I go to pull out the 5.4, I think I'll probably actually make a video for pulling it out. And then I'm going to go right into an engine build series with the teardown and all that shit for the 5.4. So for you guys that like to see actual stuff getting done, it's coming very, very, very soon. Possibly as soon as this weekend. Possibly. So thanks guys for watching, and peace. I'll see y'all next time.